319! 319!
What is going on, Jets fans? We're here again for another Green 19 Jets podcast episode. This is episode 3. Episode 3, we're here with Will, my good friend, and he's from the Hold My Helmet podcast. And we are here to bring you more exciting Jets content. We are going to be going through week 5 of the NFL, and this is the Jets versus Vikings game in London at 9:30 a.m. This is obviously London time here, so we're going to be getting up nice and early as New Yorkers. Listen, I was just saying to myself this morning, man, I'm going to have to be stressed out early in the morning, right after waking up. I don't have to go through the Sunday NFL countdown to watch the Jets game. I don't have to look at all the predictions, all the hoopla, all the hearsay, she said, all this stuff. I'm just going to be able to sit down, watch the Jets play in London once I wake up in the morning with my morning Joe, with my eggs and bacon, and I'm going to watch the Jets and see what they do. See if they actually rebound from the disaster at MetLife Stadium against the Broncos. Maybe this week we can score more than 9 points. That would actually be nice. Maybe this week we can get the run game going. Maybe this week we can actually see Aaron Rodgers throw a touchdown pass, which we didn't see last week. And maybe the New York Jets defense will continue to do what they've been doing, which is dominating. What do you think, Will?
Well, Charlie, I just gotta say I hate these London games. They suck.
I agree.
Like, I have flag football on Sundays now. In the morning. Now I gotta wake up and play flag football and watch the Jets at the same time. It's not gonna be fun. Not gonna be fun.
You can DVR. You can always DVR it.
Yeah, who does that anymore? Who you want to know what happens?
Evan Roberts DVR'd the Mets playoff game.
People place bets now. who actually DVR stuff anymore? But this is,
yeah, except for Evan Roberts, only he does that.
Look, this is very interesting because you just lost to the Broncos, and now this has become like a must win. And now you have the Vikings riding high in 4-0, and it's going to be tough now because now you're going to London, but it's a neutral field. Initial thoughts, believe it or not, very winnable game in my mind. And my first take on this is Sam Darnold really going to go 5-0? Is Sam Darnold really going to be 5-0? Because I'm a little skeptical on that. So, initial take, I think Jets are going to win this game. Why do I think they're going to win this game? I just don't think the Vikings can keep this going. It's not sustainable in my mind. I just don't think that this is, sustainable. Yes, they have the talent. Brian Flores has been coaching out of his mind on the defensive end. That defense has really been forcing
coaching angry. Yeah. That's getting slighted by the Dolphins, right?
Forcing turnovers, making CJ Stroud was out of sorts. Brock Purdy was out of sorts. Jordan Love was out of sorts in the first half. That defense has been playing really well. Sam Darnold's been playing really well, throwing dimes down the field. Eventually, Sam Darnold is going to do what Sam Darnold does. What is that? Turn the ball over. You saw at the end of last week, he almost blew that game to the Packers. They were up by a lot of points. And do this stupid pick in the red zone, fumble the ball. Sam Darnold's going to do what Sam Darnold does. Eventually, with this defense, the Jets have a top 10 defense. Might not be top 5, but it's top 10 for sure. And I just think eventually, this team, the shoe's going to come out from under them. Eventually. It's going to happen. This team's not going to go 17-0. They're going to lose a game that they're predicted to win. And I think this is going to be this Jet game. Now, last week, I picked the Jets to win too. But I was saying, watch out, this could be a game you lose. I really do think the Jets win this game. I think that I can't see the Vikings going 5-0 with Sam Darnold. We saw him. Yes, Adam Gase ruined Sam Darnold. But he was a turnover machine. I still think he is. You saw him on the Panthers, too. So, I just think that's who Sam Darnold is. Eventually, it's going to come out. I think it's going to be in this game.
It's gonna rear its ugly head eventually. I think it might be a matter of time.
I feel like it's just me saying that. Everyone else thinks he's going to win MVP. I just don't think he can sustain this for 17 games, Charlie.
I mean, listen, outside of the Jets game, am I pulling for Sam? Yeah, he got a bad card, bad hand handed to him, with the Jets. He got stuck with Adam Gase. He got stuck with no O-line. He got stuck with, and remember, Woody Johnson said, listen, we're going to get your son a great O-line. They never did. We're going to get your son great receivers. They never really did. They had Robbie Anderson. I mean,
I get all that. But I am not rooting for Sam Darnold. it's just because you got Sam
It
Darnold.
become a joke. The Jets become a bigger joke
Yeah,
than
you got
ever
Sam
when that
Darnold out there.
happens.
You got Geno Smith circulating out there, and they're all like, "Oh, former Jet quarterbacks. Look at them."
Oh, the Jets can't ever develop a quarterback. We become the blunt of every joke once again.
Jets-
I see that. I
Look,
see
the
that.
Jets failed Darnold, but Darnold failed himself too. The mono, the stupid turnovers all the time. Like, come on. We watched him. You watched him.
Yeah, his confidence was at an all-time low when he was with the Jets. I mean, they say you have low confidence, you're not going to be a very good
Seeing
quarterback.
ghost
But
games, some of the interceptions he threw, Charlie.
that's
it's like,
that Patriots
what are you
game, yeah.
doing? Like, what are you doing? Like, and I get that there's coaches that believe in him, Kyle Shanahan, Kevin O'Connell. There's clearly guys that think he has talent. And he's a talented guy. I think he had potential. But, like, yes, he has talent. Justin Jefferson, Addison, Hawkinson, Aaron Jones. Like, they have talent. I think Hawkinson's hurt, but they have a lot of talent in the offense.
I'm scared of Aaron Jones, I'm not going to lie. We'll get into the running backs they have over
We'll get into that in a little bit. But I just
Minnesota.
feel like eventually, yes, it's going to rear his ugly head. Okay, for 5, I think Sam Darnold has a little bit of Fitzpatrick right now. Fitzpatrick for 5 games. Yeah, I know he had the great season in the Jets, but for the most part, Fitzpatrick, 5 game stretch, he'll win you games. He'll look like the best quarterback in the league. For 17 games, can Sam Darnold sustain this for 17 games? I don't think so, Charlie. We'll see, but I don't think he's going to be the MVP of the league. I just don't.
Yeah, I definitely don't think he'll be the MVP of the league. Do I think he's going to like regress to as bad as he was with the Jets? I don't, because I just think there's better.
Between,
there's
right.
better. There's better coaching. There's better. You know, he's got Jets on his team. For those that don't know, that's just Jefferson's nickname. But he got a better offensive line. He's got other nice secondary weapons outside of Justin Jefferson. But listen, I don't think he's going to be an MVP. I just don't. I think Josh Allen will win that before Sam Darnold ever wins that. I mean, I know they had a rough game this past week against the Ravens, but I still think they're going to bounce back probably from that against the Texans. But we're not here to review every single game.
Nope.
But listen, I think when it comes to the Jets versus Vikings, this is going to come down to coaching. And we have a big coaching problem right now. I don't know what to think about this coaching right now. I don't exude too much confidence. They don't exude too much confidence in me when it comes to play calling, when it comes to personnel, when it comes to certain intangibles that you need to win in this NFL as a head coach or as a coaching staff as a whole. And I'm really worried about the coaching staff. I need to see this coaching staff beat a coaching staff that is considered to be very good. And I do think that the Vikings coaching staff is very, very good. I think they have a chance of being one of the greater coaching staffs in this league, actually. And so far, it's looking good. The head coach might win Coach of the Year. It's very, very possible. So I do think this is going to come down to coaching. I hate saying that because I do think that we're going to eke it out. It's like I said, it's for coaching. It's about coaching, but it's going to be about coaching, but I think we're going to be able to overcome some of the maybe small coaching errors that we make in this game. And I think Aaron Rodgers kind of overcomes that because, as you've mentioned before, Will, Aaron Rodgers is kind of like the offensive coordinator of this team. And I've been saying that myself for a while because we know Hackett just doesn't have it. Say what you want about Sean Payton, but does Hackett have it? Does Hackett have it? Was he 100% wrong? Should he have said it? No. But listen, every Jet fan knows that the Jets tried to get another guy in there, another mastermind in there alongside Hackett to kind of make sure that things are running smoothly on the offensive side of the ball. So honestly, I'm worried about the coaching. Now, when it comes to the players, I do think the offensive line will bounce back because, listen, it can't be much worse than it was last week. We literally almost had Aaron Rodgers' head decapitated. So, and he almost hurt himself. A few days ago on the McAfee show, Aaron Rodgers admitted that he is dealing with a swollen knee from the beating that he took against the Denver Broncos in that front seven. So Aaron Rodgers is banged up. His mobility, I'm not sure it's going to be quite there this Sunday. He's dealing with some ailments. He maybe heals a little bit slower. We're talking about a 40-year-old quarterback here. The body heals a little slower as you age. There's not as many regenerative tissues that help out the body's healing process. So I definitely think that with the lessened mobility, the offensive line, even more so than ever, is going to have to really step up to make a nice clean pocket for Rodgers because you don't want your 40-year-old quarterback going out on a cart. You just don't. Our season hinges on Aaron Rodgers and that right arm.
Well, Charlie, you do bring up a good point. Coaching, and yes, I would take the Vikings coaching over the Jets coaching. I would take Kevin O'Connell over Robert Saleh. I would take Brian Flores over Robert Saleh and Jeff Ulbrich. But the thing is, look at that Vikings defense. Like Brian Flores, yes, he's been coaching out of his mind. Harrison Smith, what is he, 50 years old? Name another good player in the Vikings defense. When it comes to defensive players, I would take the Jets defense any day over the Vikings defense. Yes, they have the better defensive coach, but the Jets have the better defense. And who would you take, Aaron Rodgers or Sam Darnold? I'll take Aaron Rodgers. So I think the Jets are going to win this game. I just do. I think this is a good spot for the Vikings to finally choke a game that they should win. You know, like we say every week, like there's a lot of teams that win these games they should lose, and lose games they should win. And I think this is a game that the Vikings should win, but they're going to lose. So I'll take Rodgers, and I'll take the Jets defense. So I got the Jets in this game.
And, to get myself to be somewhat soothed about the tough loss that we did have last week, I've been saying, like, listen, teams lose against teams they should beat all the time. I mean, you could probably guarantee at least 1, 2, or 3. There's going to be 1, 2, or 3 games that, you were favored to win by Vegas by 7 points or more, and you lost the game. I mean, let's think about the Ravens and the Raiders. I mean, what off the top of your head, I don't really remember, but what were the Ravens favored as against the Raiders in that game? It was probably at least a touchdown, right?
Yeah, the Bucs and the Broncos.
Yeah, exactly. So, there's no team in the league right now that is blowing the world by storm other than the Vikings. So I think this is the week where maybe we smack them in the mouth a little bit and they go down to earth a little bit, because nobody projected this team. I know that ESPN projected the chances of them going to the playoffs like at 30. It was like 25 or 30%. So it's not like anyone was projecting this Vikings team to be like world beaters here. So, I mean, obviously projections can be wrong. Obviously data can be, skewed one way or another, but I do think that Sam Darnold is going to look human this game. He's definitely going to look human. He's not going to look like Tom Brady reincarnated. So, I think we got a good shot to win this game. I do like Garrett Wilson's matchup a lot better than the one that he had with Surtain.
Yes,
I mean, he's one of the.
If Garrett Wilson doesn't go off this game, I really don't know anymore, Charlie.
I'm worried. I'm worried if he doesn't.
And
really
Brees
worried.
should have a big game too. This is not look. This defense, yes, I feel like they've been playing over their skis, because if you look at that Packer game, at the end of the game, they left 29 points. So everyone's saying this defense playing great. They got torched in the second half by Jordan Love. So this defense, yes, Brian Flores has been calling it a good game. But, again, actually comes into play because Brock Purdy and C.J. Stroud were like, I don't even know what I was looking at back there. All those defensive schemes, it was like new looks. They've never seen it before.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers seen everything. Okay?
He's seen everything.
That's
why I have confidence.
You're not going to
Brian Flores. I was worried. I had a moment where I was like, is Brian Flores going to confuse Aaron Rodgers? Because all I'm hearing is like, man, C.J. Stroud, he couldn't figure out this defense.
Yeah, he's a second year.
Yeah, it's his second year in the league. And I'm like, you know what, Charlie? Like, Aaron Rodgers, he's seen most of it, if not all of it. He's going to be able to figure out what's going on. I truly believe that. At least enough to be able to win the game.
I just think the Jets have better players, especially on defense. Like, they have better players. Like, the Vikings are playing over their skis, and Sam Darnold's going to be Sam Darnold eventually. I think Sam Darnold's going to come to back to earth at this game.
What happened with I know it's a year-to-year league, it's a week-to-week league, but just to give you a little context, we have a lot of the same players from last season. Remember, I think the Eagles came into the game 9-0. Maybe it was 9-0, maybe it was 10-0, 8-0, something like that.
We didn't have Sauce Gardner, we didn't have DJ Reed.
Either one. And you know what? All the Jets heard throughout the entire week is that you have no shot to beat the Eagles. They're undefeated. You're missing a half your secondary. And you know what? The Jets were like, you know what? Challenge accepted. And they went out there and I would say they spanked the Eagles, but they forced them into some stupid interceptions, forced Hurts into some dumb interceptions at the end of the game.
Well, I will. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No. Go. You're good.
I'll end on this because what I will say is, yes, last year they beat the Eagles. No one expected them to win. This is not one of those games that no one thinks. This is a winnable game. I know people will say that they have no shot, but this is a game that they can easily win. They have just as good, if not a better roster. Maybe not on offense, because the Vikings, they're low in the offense. Defensively, you have a better roster defensively. So you're going to give that Vikings offense fits if you could use your defense right. They have multiple corners. You put multiple corners. You can put one on Jefferson. You can put one on Addison. You can put one. You have multiple corners that can cover. So you match up well against the Vikings. That's what I think. So, I'll end on that. I think this is a very winnable game for the Jets. Final score prediction, I'll go Jets in a bit of a shootout, 28-27 Jets.
28-7 Jets.
28-27 Jets.
Oh, 27. Okay, I was about to
No,
say,
that
wow.
got blow them out. No,
28-27?
Yes.
That's a close one. So you have the Jets. The Jets lost their last game by 1 point. Now we have the Jets winning their next game by 1 point, which is kind of interesting.
Be a nice flip of the script, yeah.
Pretty much a flip of the script here. And before I give my score prediction, it also seems like when the Jets do come off of a loss, especially a humiliating loss or an embarrassing loss, they tend to play way better the week after. And I believe they also won their last matchup in London as well. So that's good news as well.
I remember them playing Atlanta back in 2021 with Zach Wilson. I don't remember them playing after that though. They lost that matchup against Atlanta. I don't remember them playing after that though. As those 2021.
We'd have to look into it. I remember the Jets winning in Atlanta. Maybe I'm remembering a game from 3 years ago. That's always a possibility.
That was 3 years ago. They lost to Atlanta. Zach Wilson rookie year. That was the last time they were in London.
Yeah, but there was a game after the Atlanta one that I believe we won. But we'll confirm that later.
Gotcha.
We have to double
Houston.
check it.
Was it Houston? I think they played Houston.
No, it wasn't Houston. The Houston we were home for last season.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
No, I meant it was actually their rookie season. They beat Houston with Zach Wilson, but
yeah, it could have. Yeah, you know what? It could have been. It could have been that.
I don't think they were in London twice in the same year. That would have been crazy. But
anyway, no, just one. Yeah, they just do it once a year.
What's your prediction, Charlie?
All right, my prediction. I'm gonna say Jets 20, Vikings 14.
I think they'll score more points than that.
You think so?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a little more high scoring than that. Have the Vikings scored less than 20 this year?
I get that, but you have two decent defenses going against each other.
Well, it plays into what I said. I think the Jets have the better defense. So, look, we both have the Jets winning. They have to go out there and win this week because you have a tough schedule coming up after this. You have Buffalo, and then what's following that? You got some tough games in there. Now,
I believe Pittsburgh is after that one.
Yeah. I think they play Houston eventually. They play Houston.
And that's in Pittsburgh as well.
They have a game
which
against
is a hard
Seattle
place to
later
play.
in the year, the Rams, the Cardinals, I think. And then you got those two Miami games. That's a gimme now, but
of course, depending on Tua's health,
right.
What's going on with Tua, and we'll find out if those are going to be gimme games. Huntley didn't look exactly great. So yeah, we'll see what those games hold for us. But all right, there you had it. The preview and the predictions for Jets versus Vikings. Hope you enjoyed the video. This is Charlie. This is Will, and this is the Green 19 Jets podcast. God bless everyone. Have a good day. Any last words, Will?
Let's go, Jets. Let's bounce back. Get a nice win. Get out to a lead early. I've been saying this every week. Get the lead early. Run the rock, and be effective in the pass game. Play action. Defense got to get out in early. Get a pass rush. Hey, get these boys fired up. Let's go out there. Let's win London.
Let's go. Jets. Jets.
Let's go.
We out. Peace.